All right, today we are going to talk about the psychology behind the products we just can't seem to put down. We're breaking down Nir Eyal's incredible book, Hooked: How to Build Habit-Forming Products. It's basically the secret playbook for user engagement.
I mean, have you ever wondered about this? Why is it that when you're bored, you instinctively open one app, but you'll delete another one after using it just once? Well, it's not luck, and it's definitely not about cramming in the most features. Turns out, it's all about psychology.
Okay, so let's get right into it. The answer, according to Nir Eyal, is all wrapped up in this really powerful framework he calls the hook model. You can think of it as the engine that drives our behavior and, well, turns casual users into die-hard fans.
So what is it exactly? Well, at its heart, the hook model is a cycle. It's designed to connect your problem to their solution over and over and over again until it becomes a habit. And when a product gets this right, it doesn't need to keep paying for splashy ads to get you back. Nope, you come back on your own, almost without thinking about it.
And the model itself is just beautifully simple. It's made up of just 4 steps. First, there's a trigger that gets the ball rolling. Then, an action you take, hoping for a reward. Next comes the variable reward that kind of scratches that itch. And finally, a little bit of investment from you that makes the whole thing better for the next time around. Let's break each of these down. All right, we are now going deep inside the habit loop. You know, once you understand these 4 steps, it's kind of like getting the blueprints for how we all behave online. And it all starts with a little nudge. Step 1 is the trigger. This is the spark plug in the engine, right? It's the cue that kicks off the whole process. Think of it like an itch that just has to be scratched. And as you're about to see, these triggers come in 2 very different flavors. Okay, now this is really interesting. External triggers are, well, they're everywhere. That little red notification bubble, an email that lands in your inbox, an ad you see, they're telling you what to do. But the real goal for any product is to latch onto an internal trigger, a feeling. When you feel lonely, what do? You open Facebook. When you're bored, you start scrolling through Instagram. That connection, that is the absolute holy grail of habit formation. And this quote it nails the core idea perfectly. We like to think we use products for logical reasons, but a lot of the time, we're just trying to change our mood. Our brains are basically wired to find the fastest way to feel better. And the most successful products out there, they offer an instant escape from things like boredom or loneliness or uncertainty. And that's how they become totally essential parts of our lives. So the trigger has fired. What's next? Well, that's the action. And this is the simplest possible thing a user can do to get that sweet, sweet relief. I'm talking a scroll, a click, a quick search. The key word here, and I can't stress this enough, is simplest. To really get the action phase, you need this simple formula from BJ Fogg at Stanford. For any behavior to happen, you need 3 things at the exact same moment. The user has to be motivated, they need the ability to do it, meaning it has to be easy, and of course, the trigger has to be there. If you're missing even one of those, the action just isn't going to happen. Fogg's model gives us the recipe, but this quote, this is the secret ingredient for product design. Here's the big takeaway. As a creator, you have to assume your users are lazy. I know it sounds harsh, but it's true. You have to reduce the steps, simplify the design, make doing the thing as frictionless as you possibly can. Think about the infinite scroll on Pinterest, or that single beautiful search bar on Google. They remove every single barrier to action. Okay, now we get to the fun part. This is where the magic really happens. So after the user acts, they get a reward. But here's the twist. It's not just any reward, it's a variable one. See, predictable rewards get boring fast. It's the surprise, the not knowing what you're going to get. Kind of like pulling the lever on a slot machine. That's what keeps our brains hooked and always coming back for more. And Nir Eyal breaks these rewards down into 3 main buckets. You've got rewards of the tribe. That's all about social stuff, likes, shares, comments. Then there are rewards of the hunt, which is about finding new information, like scrolling your Twitter feed for the latest news. And finally, rewards of the self. This is about feeling competent, like finally getting to inbox 0 or leveling up in a game. And get this, neuroscientists have actually proven this. It's fascinating. It turns out the pleasure center in our brain lights up the most, not when we actually get the reward, but when we're anticipating it. It's the craving. It's the hope of what we might find on the next scroll. That feeling is the real engine of the habit loop. So here we are, the final step of the loop, investment. This is where you, the user, do a little bit of work. It might not seem like much, but it's a super important phase that makes you more committed and gets you ready for the next trip through the hook.
And when we say investment, don't just think about money. Oh no. It can be the time you spend creating the perfect playlist on Spotify, the personal data you give to a finance app, the effort it takes to build your profile, or even the social capital you build by connecting with people on LinkedIn.
Now this is the absolute genius of the investment phase. Every little bit of work you put in makes the service better for you personally. Your playlist gets smarter, your network becomes more valuable. And here's the kicker. These investments load the next trigger. The comment you leave, that's your investment, brings you back when someone replies. That's the next external trigger. See how it works? It's a perfect loop.
So, we have this powerful blueprint for building habits, but this kind of power comes with a pretty serious question, right? When you have the ability to influence people's behavior like this, what's your responsibility to them? This is a question that every single person who creates a product needs to ask themselves. Seriously. The line between making something engaging and making something manipulative can be incredibly thin. Is your product actually helping people, or is it just designed to hook them for your own benefit? Eyal gives us a tool for this exact ethical gut check. It's called the manipulation matrix. It asks two really simple questions. One, would I use this product myself? And two, does it genuinely make users' lives better? So the goal is to be a facilitator, someone who uses their own product and truly believes it helps people. The worst case scenario? The dealer, who sells something they wouldn't touch that they know doesn't help anyone. Okay, so we've walked through the mechanics and the morals of building habits. Let's bring it all home and talk about the final takeaway. What's the bottom line here? When you boil it all down, it's this. The hook model is just a tool. It's like a hammer. You can use it to build a beautiful house, a product that helps people connect with their family or learn a new skill, or you could use that same hammer as a weapon. The power is very, very real, and so is the responsibility that comes with it. This quote just drives home how high the stakes are. We live in a world that's packed with distractions, and the people creating the technology have a huge impact on how we all spend our time and our attention. Thinking about the ethics of what you build isn't just a nice to have. It's an absolutely essential part of creating things responsibly. And so that leaves us with one last question. And this one's for you. Whether you're building an app or a business or even just a community, you have the framework now. The real question is, what are you going to do with it? Will you be a facilitator, a peddler, an entertainer, or a dealer? The choice is yours.